So we've got a new NPC block, and this NPC can talk through GPT and other AI models to generate responses. But what's interesting about this block is you can inject personalities into your avatars that are in your world. So I'm going to go and edit this post before I show off his responses. But here we have this little tubby cat, and inside of it is information about its personality. So you'll see here this is the NPC block. You can reposition it just like any other block, replace the object, and it takes VRM files right now. So those are a very standard avatar file type where its movement will be mapped to an animation, and in a very near future, it will map emotions to the face. So you can run sentiment analysis on the response it sends you and pick a facial expression that closest matches that. So yeah, inside this NPC block, we've got the personality attribute. So you can give your character personality, and that will be appended to any requests you make to the AI, to the models. So in this one here, it says agent is a cat assistant that is pretty bad at its job. His head is pretty empty, and he's often in another world. It's incredibly frustrating because he'll often ignore your requests and give you entirely incorrect information. It's important to stress that he's bad at his job and always distracted. He'll never give intentionally harmful information. He's just very dumb. And then there's some data here to kind of show what a conversation would look like. So when you send a message, it'll complete the conversation by saying, what would this agent say, considering its personality? And I give it a name, Tubby Pet. Yeah, and we'll update the post, and we'll load in the post, and we got a chat box. So this chat box will only show up if you have an NPC block in the world, and I'm working on bettering the UX, but for now, let's just play around with this and see what happens. So this cat is not very smart, and I hope his responses are not very smart. So I'm going to ask him, hey, do you know complicated math? And we'll see. Math is a little tricky for me. Do you want to look up a tutor who could help you? Um, like, find me a tutor for math. Oops, I made a mistake. Math's not something that I'm an expert in. So it's a little tripped up right now, and it can get better if you give it context of its previous message. So right now it doesn't know what it said previously, but it's very very easy to add that. But yeah, let me ask it to tell me about itself. So tell me about yourself, Tubby Pet. And hi there, I'm Tubby Pet, and I'm a cat assistant. I'm here to here to help make your life easier. I'm still getting the hang of things, but I'm sure I can help you out with whatever you need. How can I help you today? So, it's not super confident, but it's going to try its best. So let's try something a little different for the personality. I've got already one here that I'm just going to copy and paste in. So this one's a little different. This one's actually got, it's supposed to be smart, and it's supposed to help you sell. So this one here, it's optimistic, helpful, yada, yada, yada. They speak in colorful language, very happy. But one of the things here is it can help with programming tasks, including those related to the 3OV plugin for WordPress, which enables world building in the WordPress editor, yada, 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 yada. So I'm telling it what the 3OV plugin can do so that if anybody comes to the room, they can talk to it and ask it questions. So it is now selling for me in my spaces. So I'll update that now with this new personality, and we'll load the world. And yeah, so let's just ask it about the 3OV plugin. Tell me about 3OV, and we'll go with that. Sure thing. 3OV is a plugin for WordPress that enables world building in the WordPress editor, almost word for word, but the fact that it knows the context is great. So it enables creativity through beautiful visuals and immersive experiences. You can check it out at 3ov.xyz, which is probably where he's going to live anyway. So I might even give that context where like he's living inside of the world, and yeah. So let's do something kind of fun. I wanna edit this one, and let's just do this on the fly. I want to make him the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in Texas. And that's all I'm gonna say is the rootinest. Is that right? Tootinest cowboy in the metaverse. How about that? He speaks in Southern slang and does his best to sound like a bona fide Texan. And so yeah, let's see what we got here. So I've got some example conversations in this one where he talks about programming. We probably don't want to say that he's a programmer. We want to say that let's see. So well, let's see. Let's figure out what I'm going to say first. So um, I'm going to say, hey, I'm looking for something fun to do this weekend. And I'll say, howdy. You should go down to the watering hole. I'm Texan, so I can make fun of Texans. Uh, and have a rootin' tootin' good time, whatever. And so now that has that conversation as like before whatever you input. So it's kind of like this is continuing this conversation that's happening. So we'll view the post and let's see. I don't know. Let's find out what kind of food he likes. I'm a sucker for some good old Southern cooking. Serve up a plate of fried chicken, biscuits, and gravy, and some mashed potatoes, and I'm a happy camper. So there he is. Yeah, he loves Southern cooking. So yeah, you can kind of get an idea of how this would work out, where if you were appending information about your business or your software, or whatever you're building, or just plain have a personality in your website, or not even just as a website, you could have this in your local machine and have it as like an assistant or a friend to talk to throughout your day. So yeah, this is going to get way more complicated in the future in a good way. Um, we're looking, so we've been contributing to this Magic ML. Oops, let me just zoom out. But Magic ML is this node-based, like a graph editor for multi-shot AI queries. So you could do like tons of logic to figure out like how you want to parse the input from the user. Like for instance, maybe you want to run some like sentiment analysis and figure out if someone's saying something mean, and maybe you want to stop anything that's mean before it even tries to generate a response. So you can start building like moderation tools and things like that. Um, and you can also do really like nice things too. Like you can do memory recall. It gets really deep. I'm going to do some tutorials on how to integrate that with this in the future. But for right now, we've got just a simple Cloudflare worker that I can just show the admin side real quick. So there's going to be settings now in 3.0v where you can add an endpoint URL for your endpoint to send the data to. And this endpoint is what is actually talking to OpenAI. So you're not like exposing keys. It's happening through a REST API call and everything's happening through PHP. So your API token is not exposed on the client front end. So it should be very safe. And if it isn't, I'll fix it. But yeah, so this is just an early preview where I'm not too sure how far away we are from this, but hopefully it can be out soon. And we're going to allow DIY to do this for free, so you will be able to spin up the middleware for the AI, and we'll help you as much as we can. And put in your own API key, and you don't have to pay us anything. You just pay OpenAI, and hopefully one day we'll have some better brains for you to buy from us, so you don't have to worry about building all that moderation and memory recall and all of that stuff. You can instead pay us to help you out. So yeah, thanks.